Okay, so I'm doing day two of this of the Starter Story AI uh, app bootcamp. So the main thing for this day is really not even to like start the project, which you can obviously to work at your own pace. But I'm gonna try to go at the pace of this boot camp. So the main objective for day two is to actually create the project was it documentation files. And essentially, they're calling them PRDs, right? And of course, I'm like, I don't know what PRDs are. So I asked Google Gemini, right? And I said, hey, what are PRDs in terms of coding an app? I was about to say something else, but then I was like, I just push enter. So, this is Chat GPT's, not Chat GPT, Gemini's response to it. So, product requirement documents. I'm not going to read out loud to you, but it basically it's focusing on what the actual product, the final product is supposed to be, the problems that it solves, target audiences, yada yada yada. So to help us like create this level, we need to create these product requirement documents. But before that, we need to make sure that we have a chat that has like the general understanding of like what the project is. So kind of did that in day one, but then I went down a rabbit hole. I went down a knowledge rabbit hole, and I really just started looking into Lovable's documentation as far as like what does Lovable need to create an app to create the app that you want to have, right? So I just like looked into their documentation, and here it talked about knowledge files, and I said, okay, well this is a pretty good setup for as far as like you getting what you want out of Lovable. Like if you had like all this stuff, actually all this information, um, I think you'd be off to a pretty good start with what you would want to get out of Lovable. So I just said, hey, I just like took it back to Gemini, and I basically said, um, I did a few prompts, but essentially I said, hey, here's Lovable's documentation. Can you create an example knowledge file for the app that I'm trying to create? I started this app. It gave me a response, but I'm gonna do it in ChatGPT just to make sure that it has everything I want, and then I'm gonna include just one extra piece of information, um, just because like I found like an interesting addition to this prompt and like how I could make my app look. So I'm gonna put it in the same chat. Honestly, we did a lot with this, but I'm gonna put it in the same chat, and I don't know. We'll see where we go. Like this is kind of why we're doing this stuff because um, I'm just like testing everything out to see how it actually works, right? So let me just paste this in. And then the one thing I do want to add is I want to add this piece of text right here. This app will use Apple's human interface guidelines for UI. That's the only thing I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not a techie person, but I think that's like cool because that Apple actually published their guidelines for UI, and obviously like Apple has like a lot of customers. So I would just definitely would want that to be a part of my app that I build, right? Um, so let me run this and let's see what it gives me. And then it gives you, so it's giving me the knowledge file. Just copy and pasted this from Lovable's documentation, right? So it's giving me all this in a nice, like easily readable format, right? It's been a while since I've used notes. I'd have to like relook at what that means. I don't know these frameworks, so yeah, we're gonna learn a lot with this, right? And then I'm just gonna tell it to turn it into a lovable, compatible. Uh, Turn it into a lovable, or just paste it. And then, yeah, as far as like starter story, this is kind of what they told you to do, but I don't know. I just found the documentation. I said, hey, let me just see how this works. So I might have made it more complicated than I needed to, but we'll see like where this takes us. And then ultimately, I would say go in with how they did it. Like at the end of day two, you still don't really you create a blank project. You don't actually create the app. So this is still another day for us to create an app. So I'm gonna say uh, base on the knowledge file you created above, create a condensed, I would say a condensed base prompt for the app that I can, what is it, feed into local. Okay. Would you like a short prompt variable? No, 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 no. I like this. This is a good prompt. I'm stick with this prompt. I like it. Yeah, and this is a good I would say starter for MVP. So I just created the base prompt, right? So now we're getting back into like what actually like starter story AI bootcamp told you to do. So okay, we had this as a base prompt. So now it's like we need to create these, what are they called? Product requirement documents. Product requirement documents. Okay, and this is where we're getting a prompt from Starter Story. I'm gonna paste it in here, but it's saying, hey, it's telling you to create um, files, information similar to what this knowledge doc that I already created, but then it's also saying, hey, create four different files to like segment this information in, right? So I'm just gonna copy the prompt, put it in here, and then actually no, ooh, scratch that. I'm gonna restart it because I'm gonna tell it to only because we're using, what are we using? We're using data that we're using the same chat from yesterday, and I kind of just redid the information just right now. I'm just gonna say, okay, base use the base prompt and knowledge file you created above in reference to this next set of instructions, right? Let me do that. Okay, now we're sending it. Okay, so it's saying, hey, I want to make sure I fully understand. Here's some questions. What's your primary goal? Okay, first question. Uh, I want to build a complete build and launch a complete MVP within the next 11 days. Okay, I'm saying it's the question like how it wants to ask. The goal, the primary goal is to complete is to build and launch. Yep. What do you consider must-haves for the MVP? All of these are essential for the MVP. Who is your primary user? The primary user is solo YouTubers with no team. I would say that YouTubers with no team. Because basically, like, we already have the YouTube content. We want to get started on Instagram, but we don't want to spend too much money on repurposing the content. And that's like what this tool is for. It's to help us repurpose YouTube content to Instagram using AI. Uh, you can describe your ideal user. Primary user is solo YouTubers with no team. The ideal user has a lot of YouTube content and they would like to generate more leads for their digital products by expanding to other social media platforms. And they'd like to generate more leads for their digital products and sales funnels. And sales funnels by expanding to others. Yeah. The YouTuber would not like to spend a lot of time or money on creating new content for the other social media platforms, so they are going the content purposing route. So they're going the content repurposing route using AI to repurpose their YouTube content to Instagram to grow their social media to go their Instagram profile account and get more leads. I feel like I keep saying this, but that really is like what we're trying to do here. And honestly, I'll tell you guys this right now. I might get into more videos, but this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I have a faceless YouTube channel that I am selling digital products from. Well, one product, and I would like to see if I could capture some potential customers on Instagram, but I don't want to take the time. Well, I don't really want to take the time right now to like learn the Instagram algorithm or put money into paying someone to create the content. At least not right now. I feel like eventually I'll have to do it at some point, but in wanting to also learn how to build AI apps, I just feel like, I'm like solving like two problems, potentially solving two problems, or solving one desire and then solving one problem. Is that what it is? I desire to learn about AI and AI apps, and I also want to repurpose my YouTube content. That's basically it. Next question: where do you envision your users interacting with this app? It'd just be a web app. A web app. I'm not big on using my iPhone to do everything. I'm really not. I'm getting there, but I still prefer to sit down at a desk and do stuff. Yeah. And then, like, obviously, like, so when we were talking about the features, like, future features would be that you could schedule it from this app, like, schedule the content from this app. But I don't really care about that much because, like, if I can just create the content, I can spend like an hour or two, like, on the weekend or even on a weekday, just like scheduling everything like a month out, and then we're good. We're good for like a month. Once a user selects a YouTube video, how hands off should the process be? Have optional controls, image styles? No, it should just be simply press a button with three, yep, without any input. I really do want it to be this. If I'm the only controllable option would be to change the caption. Final result. How should the final result be delivered to the user? Yeah, zip folder. Dang, this is too many options. That one even on-screen preview. Bova. I on-screen preview with copy buttons. Dang, that's a good one though, because you would want to preview it. No, never mind. Yeah, let me just. User can copy, caption, and download images. Yeah, I'm just gonna do number two, even though I feel like it's more. It's yeah. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, they gotta do this. Oh goodness. Playful, bold, and punchy. Professional, clean. I would say censure. I suggest, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do this. Yeah, we'll do this. I'm not. I'm not married to. I just need it to be simplistic and it needs to just be intuitive. Like I don't. It's good to have documentation for stuff like Lovable, but I feel like something like this should be used by content creators who generally know how to use social media, and they're coming to the tool because they're coming there specifically to get Instagram their souls because they know what those are, right? They're just there to get the content in the product. Automatically show all three carousels on the screen, each in its own section. Let them scroll through one at a time, like a step-by-step experience. Show our preview grid. Let them click into each carousel. Dang, this is a lot. This is a lot for MVP. I don't know if I did this correctly. This is a lot for an MVP. Yeah, like literally present them as carousel, and then like you swipe through it, and then you can like swipe. I don't know, maybe swipe left or right if you're like I don't like that carousel. And then if you swipe like left or right, I forgot how it was with Tinder. I didn't have a Tinder, but I did understand how it worked. Anyways, one way you swipe, I think you swipe left, you like discarded it, and then if you swipe right, it's like good. So I'd probably do it that way. Final question before you got the docs. Do you want to store any user data or keep things fully session based? Yeah, I'm going with option one because it's the fastest. Okay, now it's doing its thing. Okay. Did it? Is it still going? Okay, it's still going. Got it. Okay. Give me a moment to generate all that for you. All core documents have been created. It? Is that really it? Okay. Based on so the chorus, they like want us to like paste everything in. So I'm gonna do this. I guess like just to keep in my records, keep it in my records. But we really do just only need the MD files. So yeah, I'm just pasting all this in Google Docs. And these are our remember our product requirement documents. Information. And then my master plan. All right, so I pasted everything in. I'm also just gonna download it because Chat already made the MD files for me. So I'll just download. Oh, yeah, package these into a zip. Let me download them. I'm gonna download the zip file. And that's I feel like that's most of what we're supposed to do for day two. I would say for Lovable, um, if you don't have a paid account, yeah, you got to get a paid account. But then he said what he wants to do is, I guess, to eliminate any bias. Any bias. I don't know if there's bias. He said he just starts it off as blank project. So let's see. Oh, more questions. Wow. Okay. What type of application would you like to create? I'm not gonna lie. This is different. This is not what they told us to do. But I'm not gonna answer all these questions like this. I literally just did all this. Um, Here's the knowledge file. Or no, I created a prompt. Did I not? I did. I'm just gonna do this, and this is how we're gonna roll with it. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're creating the app now. Yeah, I didn't want to answer all these generic questions. And the actual videos for the boot camp, Lobo just built a generic, hey, simple, hey, this is a website type web page. It was like just a clean black and white, this is a website type page. So maybe I messed something up in the video. I like skipped a step. But yeah, no, I'm just putting in the condensed prompt that I created from the knowledge file. And once this shows up, I'll end the video there because again, I just want to stay on course with what the boot camp is doing. But I do know, like for day three, a lot of part of it is just doing like the setting up the GitHub, setting up the Superbase. I've never used Superbase, but I have used GitHub, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I would say this took like 3 minutes, which is like not bad, obviously. Like I've never created a built like a full app before, so we're already faster than where I would have been if I did this by myself. Um, so this is what Level's telling me. It's telling me like this is what I've already built: the YouTube authentication, video selection, AI generation, preview and download. I already gave you the features. AI integration ready. It says all this stuff is already integrated. I guess I'm just gonna ask it. Is there anything else, or give me a list of anything else that I need to implement to make this a fully working app. Okay, so actually do the API integration. Fine. AI services, too easy, file duration. Okay, backend, don't really know a lot about the backend infrastructure, so I'm be learning a lot. Okay, so there's still a lot of stuff to do. And some of this is not necessarily like MVP stuff, I can tell. But no, that's still cool. Start with the Supabase a YouTube API file. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop it right here. Right, so here's the app carousel maker. I'm gonna use AI. I'm gonna use AI offline and find like a way better name than this. But it does kind of tell you what the tool is about, right? So I don't know. I might keep it. Automatically extract key themes. Ooh, like so. Button connect these two. Or no, wait. This is just a landing page. Done. Okay. No, that's like very simple. Did we create any other pages? It doesn't look like we did, which is fine. But yeah, so I think yeah, obviously this is like a over 30-minute video, but I would say a lot of it was just me messing with ChatGPT and getting different outputs, also explaining some documentation. But like overall, if you have a generic prompt of what you would want in your AI app and you just paste it into Lovable, it's gonna give you something like this in about 2 to 4 minutes. So if you take away anything from this, if you really want to build an app, you could just use Lovable and probably get a lot further than you would have by yourself in just like 2 to 4 minutes by just getting a good prompt into Lovable and letting it do its thing.